Welcome back, children. Let's continue the lesson A Tiger in the House, written by Ruskin Bond. About 6 months later, when my grandparents were visiting relatives in Lucknow, grandfather took the opportunity of calling at the zoo to see how Timothy was getting on. I was not there to accompany him, but I heard all about it when it returned to Dehra. Now the 11th point, arriving at the zoo, grandfather made straight for the particular cage in which Timothy had been interned. The tiger was there, crouched in a corner, full grown with a magnificent striped coat. Let's go to the 12th paragraph. The tiger approached the bars and allowed grandfather to put both hands around his head. Grandfather stroked the tiger's forehead and tickled his ear, and whenever he growled, smacked him across the mouth, which was his old way of keeping him quiet. 13th point. He licked grandfather's hands and only sprang many when a leopard in the next cage snarled at him. Grandfather shooed the leopard away and the tiger returned to lick his hands. But every now and then the leopard would rush at the bars and the tiger would slink back to his corner. Let's continue the 14th point. A number of people had gathered to watch the reunion when a keeper pushed his way through the crowd and asked grandfather what he was doing. "I'm talking to Timothy," said grandfather. "Weren't you here when I gave him to the zoo 6 months ago?" "I haven't been here very long," said the surprised keeper. "Please continue your conversation, but I have never been able to touch him myself. He is always very bad-tempered." Why don't you put out him somewhere else?" suggested grandfather. "That leopard keeps frightening him. I will go and see the superintendent about it." Let's continue with the 15th point. Grandfather went in search of the superintendent of the zoo, but found that he had gone home early. And so, after wandering about the zoo for a little while, he returned to Timothy's cage to say goodbye. It was beginning to get dark. Now let's go to 16th paragraph. He had been stroking and slapping Timothy for about 5 minutes when he found another keeper observing him with some alarm. Grandfather recognized him as the keeper who had been there when Timothy had first come to the zoo. "You remember me?" said grandfather. "Now, why don't you transfer Timothy to another cage, away from this stupid leopard?" "But sir," stammered the keeper, "it's not your tiger." I know," said grandfather testily. "I realized he is no longer mine, but you might at least take a suggestion or two from me." "I remember your tiger very well," said the keeper. "He died 2 months ago." "Died?" exclaimed grandfather. "Yes, sir, of pneumonia. This tiger was trapped in the hills only last month and he is very dangerous." Now the last paragraph. Grandfather could think of nothing to say. The tiger was still licking his arm, but with increasing relish. Grandfather took what seemed to him an age to withdraw his hand from the cage. With his face near the tigers, he mumbled, "Good night, Timothy," and giving the keeper a scornful look, walked briskly out of the zoo.